Hello and welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Cambo Campbell, and I just want to say, how's it going, Cambo?
Well, I was going to subvert expectations just then. I was ready to say, Nelson, it's a pleasure to be here.
That would have been great. Now I'm annoyed at myself for cutting you off.
No. See, what you've done is you've immediately thrown me under the bus.
Yeah.
You've set up the dynamic for this episode, which is you versus me.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess the listeners are scoring.
Yep. Yeah. At the end of the episode, it is important that everyone listening email in their scores. We're not going to tell you how to score it.
Yeah. There's no. Yeah.
It's completely up to you.
The points could be for anything.
Yeah.
We don't even know how you should be scoring, but we want to score at the end.
And then the the score and say, these are the scores and Nelson wins and these are the scores and Cambo wins and whoever gets the most wins, they win.
Yeah. Okay. Win the podcast. Win the rights to the podcast.
Yeah.
And all the podcast's friends.
Yes.
It's going to be a messy divorce.
Yeah. Whoever wins all the underlying intellectual property of the podcast as well.
Not much, is it?
So
I don't think I want this anymore.
Point off for you.
Yeah. I'm fine with it. Totally fine with it. So Cambo.
Yes.
You know something else I noticed?
What's that?
At some point, since we've been recording these episodes,
yes,
you ended up with a comfier chair than I did.
Yeah, that's true.
I only just realized this earlier today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I was putting the seat back. So I was like, wait a second. I think this has gone under the radar.
It's been like this for, I want to say, 3 months.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, oh, actually, I think that's been there for a while. But it was, I only just realized. And it's a point off for you, I guess.
Or is it
I don't know. Now it's like, now I feel like I have to insinuate when you should lose points from now on in this podcast. That wasn't where I was going with that. I was just going to be, but now it's all about the points. It's all I can think about.
I'm just going to justify this. It wasn't some kind of sneaky maneuver to be like, I've secretly got one up from Nelson every episode.
Yeah.
I used to have a desk.
Yeah.
Right next to where we record that had this chair.
Yeah.
And I got a comfy chair because I sit at the desk a lot.
Yeah.
And then when I got rid of the desk, I just turned the chair around.
Yeah. It really wasn't that hard at all, yeah. Well, maybe next week I will have a very comfy chair.
I look forward to you sitting on some kind of like throne.
Yeah, exactly. The Game of Thrones throne? They're not using that anymore.
It's all melted. Spoilers.
Oh, no. You'll see next week.
Okay.
I probably won't do anything.
Or you know what? You can have a throne if you win.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you lose, you got to stay in that crappy chair.
Oh.
The chair that every guest we've ever had has complained about.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So listeners, think about that when you're deciding.
Yeah.
You know, could you handle the guilt of me sitting on a bad chair?
Or do you like my ingenuity of getting a comfy chair?
Anyway, here's the first Reddit on Reddit I have. This is
what nonsense that was, just by the way.
That was stupid. This is by Burbger. And it was in the Crazy Ideas subreddit.
Okay.
The Google self-driving car should have an I'm feeling lucky button that takes you somewhere random.
Yeah. That would be good. Do you think that the I'm feeling lucky button would need to have just hundreds of things pre-programmed to be I'm feeling lucky, or is it pure random? Like it can stop middle of a highway.
It just
like, this is it. I'm taking you.
You've arrived at your destination. We're underwater. Oh my god!
Because pure randomness could lead to more death. But is that the key to the excitement?
Is that how the computers get us in the end?
Yeah.
They just banking on the fact that we're pressing the I'm feeling lucky button.
You get into this car and it's like, you've pressed I'm feeling lucky. You're like, no, I haven't. I'm pretty sure you have.
Yeah. Anyway, you can't open the doors and we're off to the Sahara Desert.
This car ride ends in a car crash.
I think that this is a genius idea.
Yeah.
But also I've been in the situation where well, like, sort of, first of all, it's like, when are you like, oh, I want to go somewhere, but I'm not sure where. So I'll hire one of the Google cars.
Yep.
And press I'm feeling lucky. Like, you could just go to, even if it's moderately okay destinations, you'll end up at like a nursery, like a garden show nursery or something. Yeah. And you're like, I'm not into flowers.
No, you know what this would be good for? Is random, like, dates. So say you've got a partner, because it's always hard trying to organize where to go for a date. You gotta, but if you're like,
nobody wants to decide.
We'll jump in the Google car. I'm feeling lucky. Hopefully it doesn't murder us.
Yeah.
And if
you look at her and you say, I'm feeling lucky. Huh? And she goes, not yet.
So I think that there is an aspect of it that I think would be quite good. So stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah,
because you're right. If you've got a Saturday, you're probably not just gonna jump in a car and be like, yeah, no, take me wherever.
Anyway, Cameron, I'm bored. I'm just going to go in a car. I'm feeling lucky.
Gonna go somewhere.
Actually, I feel like I have had the real life experience of this, sort of. It's like as close as you can get.
Yeah.
When I was in...
You didn't get into a Yahoo car, did you?
When I was in...
It's like the Google car, but not as good. No one uses it.
Yeah, that's right. You get to somewhere and you're like, no, I guess this is okay.
Google would have got me here quicker.
Yeah.
But I'm not using the Bing car, that's for sure.
Yeah, oh my God, you'll definitely die in that one.
But every time you go out, they're always like, do you want to make the Bing car your default? You're like, no.
No. That was a cause of necessity that I used this, okay? It's not that I wanted it to be used. So when I was younger, I was in high school. I got to school one day and I was like, I'm not really feeling it. And I used to take a bus every day. And so I was like, I'm just going to hop on a random bus.
Ooh.
See where it takes me. And so I got on and it drove for, I don't know, like 40 minutes or an hour or something until it got to the end of its stop. And I was just in Bayswater.
Now,
which just by the way,
for those not local to our area, do you want to explain where you live and how far that is?
It's just a nothing place. I lived very close to it at the time.
It's like 2 suburbs away from where you live.
Yeah. And there's just nothing there. It's not important.
No.
But I imagine that's exactly what this I'm feeling lucky thing is. You go to some suburb.
You always end up in Bayswater.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Bayswater, for those international listeners, which is about 60 to 70% of our listenership, doesn't even have like a set of shops, really. It's just kind of got...
I'll have you know I went to a Baker's Delight. Got myself a cheese and bacon roll.
You're right.
I thought, this is the life.
I stand correct.
I will make Bayswater my new home. But
actually, Hazim, when you come to Melbourne, we'll take you to Bayswater.
We'll take you to Bayswater.
Yeah, we'll get you a.
And that's where we'll do the facials and. If you were designing this, I'm feeling lucky. Where would you put the locations that people go?
If I was designing, here's what I would do. This only serves me.
Okay.
But I would put our address in. Oh. So occasionally, if I get in and I click it and it takes me back home, I'm like, fair enough. I looks like I'm not going out today.
Yeah. The fates have decided I'm staying in tonight. Okay. That's lazy.
Yeah. Would you put it? Because there's a thing on like Google Maps where you can have your business come up as like a little pin when you zoom into a map.
So you reckon it's automatic maybe? And
just
goes to all
any
those.
that register as that, there is a chance that I'm feeling lucky will take you there.
Okay.
So you might hear I'm feeling lucky, and maybe that Baker's Delight in Bayswater had the little pin attached to it, and it might take you there.
God, I bloody hope so.
It's a real crapshoot.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's far more boring.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, you're right. That's the most logical way you would do it. No, that's a good logical answer.
I'd put it at the top of a volcano, so you drive into the volcano.
That's pretty hilarious. That's pretty good. Not that I have anything better I come to think of.
So you drag me across hot coals. And
I've got shut up, Kevin. I had this one all along.
It better not be on top of a volcano. I swear to God.
The Himalaya mountains. Never mind. Anyway, what I was thinking is you should go to somewhere that everybody loves.
Yep. Like?
It's one of two places.
Okay.
Strip club.
Yep.
Or Science Works. Everybody loves Science Works.
Your local references this week are off the chart.
No, okay, I know that Science Works is in Melbourne, but I think just saying that, everybody understands that concept. There's a Science Works type thing around everywhere. It's like it's just a place where it has lots of exhibits, fun exhibits, kind of for kids, families. That just show you sometimes like interesting space stuff or like human body things.
The big one at our one in Melbourne is you could race Australian Olympic athlete Kathy Freeman.
Yeah.
And everyone, this same thing always happened because it had like a bunch of screens that had her time.
Yeah.
And you would race against her. And everyone would run against her and be like, oh, man, she beat me. Yeah. She's an Olympic runner. She's very quick. You're a student on a grade
It's kind of sexist that you thought that you were going to beat her.
Oh, this bird reckons she's quick, does she?
Yeah.
We'll see about. Oh no, she is quick.
Yeah. And she's Aboriginal. So you're either racist or sexist. One of the two.
You're bigoted in some way.
But no, I thought what you were going to say is for that same exhibit is what used to happen is you'd get a friend and you say, you stand up one end at the sensor, I'll stand at the side. So it's like ready, set, go. One triggers the first one triggers the end. You're like, beat her. Easy as. We did it in 1.3 seconds. Kind of slow if you ask me.
We've broken all kinds of world records. Write it down, Science Works.
Yeah, that's right. But so I see everybody loves that place. Name a flaw with that plan.
We also, this is just now becoming things in Melbourne. Take note.
Okay.
There's the famous London.
What if I'm feeling like he took you to Federation Square? You'd be so annoyed.
There's the famous London Eye in London.
Oh, yeah.
Centre of London. You go up in London Eye and you got all of the views of London.
Yeah. Ferris wheel. Yeah.
Ferris wheel, yes. We have the Melbourne Eye.
Yes.
And it looks over the docks of Melbourne in which there are shipping containers and Science Works.
Yeah. It's just showing you in which direction you need to go to get to Science Works.
Yeah. Or where
you just ask for directions and the Ferris wheel operator is like, please come on board. Nobody's come on today. You can see Science Works if you get to the top.
Yeah. Also, if you want to find out where you should dump a body, go up to the top of the Melbourne Eye and you're like, oh, yeah, and that looks pretty abandoned over there.
Yeah. I remember when that was being constructed and people were like, it doesn't seem like it's going to have good views.
No.
And then people are like, yeah, but I don't know. Until it's done, you probably won't know. And then it was completed. And you're like, yep, that's what we expected. There's nothing. This was a terrible
it's
investment.
kind of at the back of the city.
Yeah.
It's very odd.
Yeah. Anywho, let's get into Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. This Ask Reddit is by Bill Oakley. You are offered $10 million. Why does it have to? You know what? Just answer this question, but you're not gonna get any money for it. Okay? Somebody's just gonna be like, "Whoa, that was good thinking." Okay? That's what's gonna happen.
Okay.
You are offered a pat on the back.
Okay.
If you can name an inanimate object that nobody in human history has ever used in a sexual way. What is your answer? You know what? Why does money even come up with this?
Yeah, that's true.
Why do you need $10 million? Like, well, I'm not going to think of one.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get this $10 million.
I'm not thinking of an object for $20. Thank you very much. That is very true.
Yeah.
The money plays no part in this. Yeah. And it's one of those ridiculous amounts. An inanimate object that no one has used.
I tell you what, you think of one and I'll tell you how I would use it sexually.
Okay. Is there a limit on... Because I think I have one, but it's not necessarily... It is an object, but it's also like... It's very big. So it's kind of technically a bunch of objects making an object.
Okay. Look, we can start there.
Okay. What I'm thinking is the Large Hadron Collider.
Yeah. that's really definitely sexual, easily.
But how?
What,
no, but it's
what do you
isn't
use
it?
that for?
But-
What do you use it for?
You slam particles into each other.
Yes. Oh yeah, no, I was thinking.
What were you thinking of? Were you thinking of a dildo?
Yes, actually, that's what I was thinking.
But is this no one could use it or no one has used it as a sexual object?
Could use it.
Oh, I thought it was had used it.
No, he says ever. Oh yeah, it's ever used.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, so I think Large Hadron Collider. I'll put my neck out. I don't think anyone's had a wank on it.
I just thought you could if you could use it because that's
anything
that's
can
boring.
be used.
Okay, yeah.
You can have a wank on the Large Hadron Collider.
Well, that's something. There's people that get sexually attracted to objects. I saw this documentary one time of this lady that was, I think it was a merry-go-round or something. She had feelings for this merry-go-round. Actually, I think it started as a merry-go-round.
Yeah.
And then she broke off that relationship.
Wow.
And then it was like a Ferris wheel or something like that. And she'd just lie next to it and just sort of kiss it sometimes. It was very weird. So there's got to
It's pretty weird.
It's got to be some weird scientist.
I just want to run a quick test here. And I'm going with the no one has used for sexual gratification.
Yes.
This podcast equipment?
Yep. Hasn't. Definitely hasn't.
You're just avoiding eye contact, is the thing.
No, well, I mean, the thing is, Camber.
Could use, absolutely. These mic stands, tailor-made to shove somewhere.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. I mean, yeah, the wide base that we have the mics on.
The long, slender...
That is medically suitable. I have a friend who's a doctor, and he said, people need to stop shoving things up their rectum that don't have a wide base. That's a tip for anybody out there.
Yeah.
He's like...
Start with a tip.
He's like, start with the tip, end with the base.
Yeah.
That's the tip. But yeah, he said the problem is people use like a light bulb.
And it gets lost
He's like,
up there.
that's really hard to get the end out. I don't know why you would... One of my worst nightmares is sticking a light bulb up my butt and then it breaking. Why would anybody put a light bulb up there?
Yeah.
Or maybe it's one of those like... I'm thinking like a stereotypical light bulb. But it might be one of those like... those pyramid-y type one, like smooth around, like a raindrop kind of.
Nothing that can shatter. That would be my rule.
Yeah. I mean, that's terrible. But it seems more molecularly stable than a structurally sound than the other bigger ones.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Or like a Christmas tree light. That's pretty small. I think I could risk putting that up my butt.
So there are different kinds of Christmas tree lights. Some of them are very spiky. I would avoid those.
And they're hot, actually. They get pretty hot. Don't turn them on. Don't turn them on.
So I thought you meant they were hot, as in like sexually attractive.
Yeah,
like man, they're pretty hot.
Do you reckon somebody's used those sexually before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. As some kind of awful anal penis.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Shove them in, turn them on. That seems like somebody's good night.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. That's some kind of weird Christmas fetish. Well, can you think of an object that no one would have used as?
I don't know. I was thinking about this before, and then
What about an air conditioning unit? We've got a couple of those in this house.
I think though, no, maybe you could use it to like make your nipples hard.
Yeah, maybe. And I guess specifically, I'm looking at ours are quite high wall mounted, which would be high, but you can have them on the floor.
Okay.
So I guess you could use
and
them.
maybe if you, I don't know, I haven't felt ours, but maybe it vibrates a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good
Sit
point.
on top of that bad boy.
Yeah, good point.
That's a good night.
I feel like an idiot for suggesting that.
Why would you? You can use anything, Gambit.
I am sticking by Large Hadron Collider.
I'd find a way. Here's another one I have for you. I'm not sure how this one's going to go, so I have a backup one. Okay. This is by Rohan Boy 96. Mm-hmm. You have to break up with your boyfriend/girlfriend using a movie quote. Oh. Which one do you use?
Ooh. It's not I'm going to trade this in for a classic movie scene. At the end of The Godfather, there's a scene where Michael Corleone has become the Godfather, and his poor wife is standing outside the room, and one of his henchmen just slowly closes the door.
Yeah. That's a classic scene.
That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, just slowly closing the door on somebody.
And I have the Godfather music playing just so she really knows we're doing the bit.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I think your girlfriend would appreciate that sort of.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, like, she'd be upset probably.
Yeah.
But then,
obviously,
afterwards, she'd be like,
"That's
oh,
good,
that's pretty good."
Good, solid reference.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god. Okay, I just thought of another one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly in the context in which you could use it.
Yeah.
But you might remember from Monsters, Inc., they came up with a song.
Yeah.
That says, put that thing back where it came from. Also help me.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be, maybe like maybe it's more like a conversation that your mom has with you because you're...
Or if you've had a child and you decide at that point, family is not for me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good.
That's an odd one, Nelson.
I just thought about it. Okay.
You're a big Die Hard fan. Is there a line from Die Hard that you would use? I have a machine gun now, ho ho ho. It's a threat to get out.
Yeah, but you have to say it like Hans Gruber.
Yeah.
Ho ho ho. Okay, how about this is a very specific scenario. You've been cheating on your partner.
Okay. Yeah.
And you bring the person that you've been cheating on them with, and you say, "Here's Johnny."
Then you chase him with an axe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess on that line you could say guns. Lots of guns. What do you mean? Oh my god!
Or you can be like, "I break up with you," and then you'd be like, "It's in a movie somewhere."
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's right. Surely there's some sort of breakup line.
I mean, I once for my other job, my real job, had to interview the stars of a movie called The Breaker-Uppers.
Oh.
And I feel like that movie would just be absolutely, that's a gold mine.
Yeah.
Of movie quotes to use to break up with someone.
So many quotes you could get. In Wayne's World, he says, she's like, "If you're not careful, Wayne, you're going to lose me." He's like, "I already lost you. We broke up 6 months ago." So you could just say that.
That's true.
And then, but that'd be confusing. She'd be like, "What? You're just saying this to me now?"
You've got a Canadian accent.
Yeah. Okay. I will quickly do this other one that I had. Okay, this is by Paladin877. The world starts playing a game of tag, and you are it. For every person you tag, you get $100.
I want 10 million.
US. Okay.
Well, okay, that's good. That's good for us.
Yeah. That's way... I like the fact this person has gone to the effort of doing that. That $10 million, that could have been any currency.
Yeah, it's true. I would have preferred it if it was pounds, because that's slightly better for us, but I'll take US.
Yeah. Or euro. That's even more, I think.
Or gold. 100 gold.
100 gold. Just of any weight, I guess. Anyway, you game a tag.
Yep.
You get $100.
Yep.
And the game lasts for a whole 10 hours. How do you make as much money as possible in those 10 hours? And what is your game plan?
Okay. I think I'm onto something here. I'm just finishing my plan off in my head.
Okay,
I've
Cross
got it.
the
I've got it.
T's, dot the...
What you do, and this is really how business in general works. So if people are studying business, drop out of your course. I'm going to school you right now.
Okay.
What you do is you spend a little money to make a lot of money.
Oh.
And what you do is you cover yourself with $20 notes. And if people come and get a $20 note off you, you can tag them, and you're making $100 for every 20 that you spend.
Oh, that's pretty smart business plan.
Thank you. That's how business works. What you do, Nelson, people don't know this. You buy at one cost, then you increase the cost and sell that good for profit.
So you're saying buy high, sell low? Is that what I'm getting for that?
You've got it the most wrong I've ever heard.
Oh, man, I'm so bad at business.
Yeah, so I would bait people. Because, I mean, for them, it's a win, and for you, it's a win. They're getting $20.
What if they're playing as well?
What are you talking about? Well, they're it as well.
I don't know.
Do they lose $100 if they're tagged?
It could be.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to need a series of cages to just capture people.
Okay. Maybe you could do a similar sort of thing where you've got like a little, it's like maybe a cage around you. Yeah. You set yourself up in the middle of a city.
Yep.
You have a cage around you. People can put their hand in, right? But they can't get any further. So you like work out the average distance.
Yeah.
You stand smack bang in the middle. They reach in as far as they can get. They can't reach you. You could like hand them the $20 note very delicately and at the same time slap them on the arm.
Yeah, great.
And then that's kind of, but then they wouldn't go for it because if they're paying the $100,
okay,
they've just lost $80.
If they're paying the $100, I need to change tactic. But don't worry, I've got it covered.
Okay.
What does everyone love, Nelson? Mascots.
Oh.
You dress up in a giant mascot costume. And people will be coming up for photos.
Okay.
And what do you do when you take a photo with a mascot? Put your arm around them. Tag.
Oh.
I'm going down to whatever city I'm in. I'm going down to the CBD.
Yeah.
Peak time.
Yeah.
Dressed as a mascot, tagging people left, right, and center.
Yes. That's pretty good. No, I'm going to one-up you there.
Please.
You've gone for the wrong demographic, I think.
Right.
Because people in the CBD, you'll get some.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I see where you're going with this.
But I think like high school fair or something.
Yeah,
primary school fair.
That's good.
And you get a bunch of kids touching you. Some people would think that's a win-win. Not us, obviously. So, yeah, that's a pretty good strategy. Who else would people want to... Oh, okay. Maybe you have to work out an elaborate way to do this. Maybe I could, you could be my accomplice.
Okay.
But we try and...
What's the split?
It's a good split. Don't worry about it. Oh, but just help me out with it.
50-50?
Could be. That is a possibility.
Yeah, cool. All right.
And so what happens is we need to stage an elaborate ruse where you feel as though you need to maybe contract a disease, possibly.
Okay.
And then get cured by that disease in secret. Get cancer or something.
Yeah.
Something that's like treatable, but it's kind of like, or it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And then instead you say to people that for treatment, you just touch my hand a couple of times, then you feel 1,000,000 times better. And then we spread that all over the world. And then I claim to be Jesus, the second coming. And people are like, oh my God, let's go over there and touch this guy's hand.
Yep. There is one thing that's going to hamstring you on this.
Yeah.
And that's the 10 hours that the game
We
goes
need
for.
to do this well before. I need to be touching people's hands for like at least a month beforehand. So that by the time we get to the start of the 10 hours, I've got like a line that I could just run down, in fact.
Can I tell you my
set them up on an oval, I think. And just like a snake line. And maybe I've got a little I've got one of those segways.
Yep.
So I can just go down, touch everybody on the hand. I reckon that is pretty good.
Can I tell you the lo-fi version of this? Because using me as bait is good.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like I could have faked the disease.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No. People need to believe it's happening, Cambo.
But-
if they check your medical records, they're going to need to see that you've actually got cancer.
What if I just stand by a corner
Yeah.
and you're hidden behind the corner so they can't see you?
Yeah.
And I go, when people walk past, hey, come over here. And they're like, well, this guy's fine. He's not the one that's it. And they walk over to me. You come out and tag him.
Oh, okay. So that's good. So
Very similar in tactic.
Okay, yeah. In this scenario, it's just me. You're my accomplice. Everybody's trying to
Yeah.
avoid me.
50-50 split.
50. Let's go 60-40.
In whose favor?
Oh, yeah, Gabby, these are semantics. Okay.
Right.
Look, I promise when I get the money,
Uh-huh.
it'll be a 60-40 split.
Great, okay.
So that's pretty good. Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks.
I like that. I think
Yeah.
it's a bit weird.
so-
People might be like, "Why are you
No.
standing
I'm
around?"
like, no. Come here.
Are we just in the city?
Yeah.
If anybody in the city
Yeah.
was standing on the corner, it was just like, "Hey, come here."
I didn't explain, Nelson. I've got one of my legs up on the wall, so I
Oh.
look pretty cool.
Okay.
And I've got shades on.
That's pretty cool.
And I'm like, hey, man.
Maybe
Come here.
maybe this is where you bust out the costume. Actually, I
Interesting.
think,
Yeah.
and you just kind of motion people over.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's get into Today I Learned. So now it's time for Today I Learned. What's the intro to that? Today I Learned. This Today I Learned is by Axter Plax. Today I learned that Canada has an act/law, the Good Samaritan Drug Overdose Act, that in the event that you need to call 911 for someone who's overdosed, you won't get arrested for possession of controlled substances charges and breach of conditions regarding the drug charge.
That's so Canadian.
Yeah. That,
To just be like, we won't judge you, man. We just want to help people.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because I instantly went for the loophole.
Okay.
I think we should go to Canada,
Yep.
start dealing as many drugs as possible.
Right.
Can't deal marijuana anymore. It's legal over there. Actually, you could probably still do it illegally, I'm sure.
Yeah. This is worse marijuana. It's got heroin in it.
Yeah, actually, it's just heroin. And then, if we get the word that we're being busted, because
One of us needs to overdose.
I've seen enough movies. Well, one of us. Yeah.
What's that drug split?
Look, I tell you what, I cut you a deal.
Yep.
If you're the one that gets overdosed,
Uh-huh.
60-40 split.
Okay, yeah. I'll assume what the split is between us.
Because you're the one being overdosed.
Yeah,
so
I
obviously
get it.
it's going to be 60-40 split.
Okay, so you're saying that we have a get out of jail free card every
Every-
time
like
the
every
police are
time.
raiding. They open the door to the raid, and
Yeah.
one of us is overdosing. You're like, oh, thank God you're here.
And I'm like on the phone. Like, oh my God, you guys were so fast.
Yeah.
I barely got connected.
Hang on, cancel the ambulance. The police are here.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I was just calling about this overdose.
Yeah. I think,
Thank God you've come to this warehouse full of drugs.
yeah, that's right. This is all obviously personal supply. Because I wonder, like, if they still confiscate it. So, I mean,
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a good question. Because if they do, our plan is bust.
yeah, that is a problem. We could have like millions of dollars of heroin that some bosses. You really lost it.
I don't know why the image is so funny of the police walking in to one person on the ground shaking and the other one on the phone. And we're like, we've done it again. And they're like, damn it. He's called. Pack it up, boys. We're going home.
Yeah, it's the third one this week. We really shouldn't have had this all. I think.
Sorry, I'm back.
The Canadians would They're nice people. They'd let that slide.
Yeah, they said, "Oh, they figured it out," is what they'd say.
Yeah. But nothing we can do about it.
Yeah,
so.
that's true.
Okay, I have another one here.
Yep.
This is by Fraggle Captain.
Mm-hmm.
Today I learned of Edmund Albius. As a 12-year-old slave boy in 1841, he invented the technique for pollinating vanilla orchids profitably. Without this technique, it's unlikely that vanilla would be nearly as well known as it is today.
Then, without vanilla, what would be the worst flavor of ice cream?
Vanilla is not the worst flavor.
No, it's not the worst flavor. It's the, if you can pardon the phrase, the basic bitch of ice creams.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like if you're like, hey, any flavor ice cream, what do you want? Someone's like, just vanilla. You go, huh. Okay. Okay. That's interesting.
Well, you never go... Actually, that's a good point.
Vanilla in something, sure. But if it's just vanilla they want.
Yeah, you never go to an ice cream store and just get vanilla, right?
Not
You're an insane person.
Not unless you're a murderer.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That should be how they get them. Just
All
a
right,
cop
well,
at every ice cream place.
Or just like, in an interrogation room.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, well, yeah, you've answered all the questions. Before we leave, what flavor ice cream do you want?
Yeah.
Oh, just a vanilla. See, we've got you. Guilty. Not a judge in the land will let you off now.
What you do is you put down the Neapolitan one with the 3 flavors and just see if they go straight for the vanilla. So you know. Because obviously you go for the all 3 scoop.
If they go, okay, here are my preferences in order. Vanilla first, obviously. Then strawberry.
Yeah.
Then chocolate. You're like, you've done it the complete wrong
that
way.
Is opposite. You're guilty.
I think you're a mass murderer.
Totally insane. I don't know what the basic flavor would be there.
Yeah. Because, it is, I don't know. I mean, good on him.
Yeah, good on him. I mean, I guess somebody had to do it. Probably people weren't worrying about it too much, though, I reckon.
That's true. He did solve a problem that wasn't there.
Yeah. Like, we would probably be fine without vanilla.
Similar to the other day, in a homeware store, I saw it's like a squeeze bottle for pancake mix.
Yeah.
In which you squeeze it through a very small funnel at the top, and it always looks like a sauce bottle or something like that.
Right, yeah.
And it was like, that way, there's no mess for when you make pancakes. Oh. And I thought, well, that's a problem that I've never had. Because normally I make it in a jug with a nozzle. But, I don't not like the product. I get it. But they have solved a problem that wasn't there.
Well, I feel like the mess comes beforehand anyway, regardless, It's like when you're mixing it in the bowl or something, like that's when it happens. It's not in the process of putting it from any sort of container into the pan.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem
Unless,
quite right.
Are people spooning pancake mix into a...
Yeah, actually, I think that's...
What?
I feel like that's a thing.
That's all. They're also murderers.
Yeah. You just get the pancake shake bottle thing.
Don't bring this up. I'm gonna get a talking to from my girlfriend tomorrow.
Why?
Don't want to go into it.
Does she not like the shaking?
I won't go into it, Nelson. It's not worth the fight.
But now I want to. Okay, let's say from the top of the show, if you're... I don't know the context, but I'm just going to say nobody should be up on their high horse and above the bottled pancake mix. Okay? Nobody in their right mind.
Okay.
But that, I don't know what the scenario is.
To be clear, anyone listening, I didn't bring this up. It's Nelson's opinion.
Yeah.
I won't say if I agree with it. I won't say.
Yeah, he didn't say. Yeah. Poor, he's not saying it a lot. Very
Let's move on.
Let's move on. Look, the reason actually why I wanted to bring this one up, Jambo, is because as a 12-year-old slave in 1841, he invented the technique for pollinating vanilla orchids profitably. I want to know, what have you done in your life?
By the age of 12, not much. I can tell you that for nothing.
You weren't even a slave. You didn't even have that holding you back.
That's true.
1841, you're in the year 2000.
I had no adversity and I achieved nothing.
Okay.
And now, as a man in my later 20s, I have still achieved so little, and my life has got easier. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you now.
Yeah.
I'm not as good as him.
Yeah. I just wanted to point that out.
And on my birthday.
I had a very successful disco business.
You did actually.
So, anyway, let's get into shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, 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 shower thoughts, 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 shower thoughts, 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 shower thoughts, thoughts, thoughts.
This shower thought is by... Oh, that is so weird.
What's happened?
Okay, so I grabbed your phone
Yep.
because my shower thoughts on the emails is cut off.
Ah.
And then I grabbed your phone and yours is cut off, but from the opposite end.
Oh, wow.
This is a bizarre thing. I even went out and back into it.
Yeah. That's not interesting for anyone but us, because no one can see it.
No one can see it. I suppose I could
But
take a screenshot.
let me trust us. It's pretty interesting.
It's pretty interesting. Like, what's the chances? And it's cut off at the exact same point. This is so strange. So I'm going to read the first part from mine and then the end of it on yours. Okay, this is by Life Has No Meaning, 444. Grass is fucking weird. It's a living organism and it's everywhere. There's so much of it and it will probably never go extinct. It's so common that its absence would actually be more noticeable than its existence. Nobody ever thinks about it. But it gets even weirder if you think about it longer.
I mean, maybe grass exists in... I think there's like a category of things like this. I mean, I guess we think about water more. Because, it's 80% of the earth and people drown in it and stuff.
It's pretty important. No, but yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that's true. I guess because grass isn't...
What purpose does that serve?
Well, we're not smart enough to know. Because I'm sure we could get rid of all grass, and a scientist would be like, the ecosystem would collapse.
Bees? We don't need bees, that's for sure. Yeah.
I'm glad they're dying out for one.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a food source. Grass. Not bees. They're useless, as we've established.
Yeah. No, I quite like honey. Keep 'em
well,
around.
it's true, yeah. I prefer vanilla.
Yeah. Oh. So
Yeah, I mean, I think
probably
its main priority would be food, right? For
rabbits.
like cows, like anything that grazes, essentially.
But there's just far too much of it at the moment. We don't. It's gone over.
But there's far too many TV shows on TV. But that's all right. Not hurting anyone.
Yeah, but I watch those.
You watch all of them.
Yeah, don't watch the grass.
Do you watch both House Hunters and House Hunters International?
Well, how else do you watch House Hunters TV? You need to watch both. It's like it's necessary.
My point is, yes, there is too much grass. The grass to animal ratio is off, but I think that's a good thing. It's like having too much, like you're out for a meal, but you've got too much water. That's not a problem because, you're going to drink it, and if you don't drink it, it's fine.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not going to go to waste. It is, but it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think water was a poor example because that is a resource that we are running out of, essentially. With Australia goes through droughts occasionally.
Yeah.
So it's like if you do have water left over at your dinner, you should feel guilty about that.
But a drought of water is a regional thing. So is a desert not just in a drought of grass?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Think about it. Don't think about it too hard. Doesn't hold up.
It's just, but I disagree that it's weird the grass is everywhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But it's the philosophy of a stoner.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, Nelson, this is what's going to happen. You're going to need my face for every time you try and open. Oh, hang on. I think they're all back on mine.
okay. I'm going to close mine and get back into it.
No, do you want me to read the next one?
Okay.
Okay. This is from Gerarda Stormcrow.
Oh, yeah, going back. Okay, yep.
If you had a button that would give you a lot of money but kill someone far away that you did not know, you'd have a pretty good model of how our economy works.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bloody deep.
It's pretty deep when you think about it, that we cause the suffering of other people.
Yeah. I mean, this podcast, not so much.
We
have one guy that we torture. But that's more of a Patreon deal. He pays for that.
Yeah. It's weird.
What do you think of that as a metaphor? Very anti-capitalism.
Yes. And
he obviously doesn't understand Etsy. That's all ethically sourced and homemade.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Did you?
Reply to him or her and say, what about Etsy, you idiot? How else would you get those sewing patterns that look like the houses in Game of Thrones? God.
That's right. Yeah. You've got foolproof. That is. But I think, well, it's sort of hard to say, actually. Like, I think this is far too specific.
Yeah. This is talking like huge corporations like Nike that have famously had very, very bad working conditions in their factories that have caused death.
Yeah.
But they don't see it. They're just getting the money from the Nike shoes. Yeah. From the Nike.
From the Nike. The God Nike.
The God Nike. So I think it's that's what it's talking about. It's talking about those huge corporations that are making, I guess the people that are the 1%.
Yeah.
Exploiting the people that are very, very poor. But we're somewhere in the mid-ground.
Yeah.
But
the idea is that we might buy Nike, and then we're part of the problem. But I think that even that isn't a big exaggeration. I know, obviously, Nike and lots of other companies have had really bad working conditions.
Yeah, not Etsy.
And not Etsy, obviously. And not that I know I'm confident enough to argue this point very well. But I know that there is the concept that some of these companies that you're better off paying a lot of people a really poor wage because without that they actually have nothing. Yeah. So in fact, okay, this is gonna take a bit of a turn.
Okay.
On
are we gonna get complaints?
On that sort of in that sort of example. I was talking to my friend,
Mr. Nike,
who is he's gay, and him and his partner are trying to adopt a child.
Yeah. And
they were saying that there's laws in Australia that makes it's basically really hard to adopt a child or get a surrogate, rather. Surrogate is a sort of thing. In Australia, you can't pay anyone to do that. Oh. So you just have to get somebody that wants to be pregnant but doesn't want a baby, which is very unlikely. But overseas, you can pay somebody to do it. But they're saying there's sort of things ethically wrong with that, and some people, like pregnancy can be really dangerous. Like there's lots of things that can medically go wrong.
Sure.
And if there's somebody that's doing this multiple times, like with each pregnancy, there's kind of more risk of things going wrong and yada yada. So they're saying, well, you're kind of forcing that girl to do this because she's poor, obviously, and can't work or find another work or whatever. And so they're saying, so morally that's kind of wrong.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you don't give her that opportunity, then she's poor and doesn't have a way to make money, like doesn't have an income. Like that's kind of her source.
So you're saying like the other side of it would be like the argument is, well, if we don't use her as a surrogate, she'll have to pull her socks up and go and get a job.
Well, the thing is, I don't understand the economic circumstance in which that person lives.
Yeah.
Same, that's why I said at the start of this, I can't even really argue it very well for I don't know, the kids working in the Nike factories. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad? Obviously it looks really terrible.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
But there maybe is this side of it that we can't quite see that's actually that's giving opportunity to people that otherwise wouldn't have it.
Yeah.
And I very rarely give it to charity. So if I buy Nikes every now and again, it's basically should be tax deductible, I think.
Well, okay, so yeah, I see what you're saying there because I've never thought of it through that lens.
Yeah.
Because you're right, morally it is bad, like people
Yeah.
being paid such a bad wage. But is there some kind of bizarre like twist that it is like necessary evil? Or, yeah. If someone's smarter than us, let us know.
I mean, that's everybody.
Yes.
So, we have a lot of people writing in. But didn't think about that one, did you? Yeah, I'm correct. Or maybe they just meant it in a totally different way.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Maybe this person works for a poison company.
Wow.
They get paid.
Yeah.
Somebody somewhere else dies.
That is crazy.
It's deep. Here's another one. This is by D-Monster1. Opening a window because there's a fly in your room is like playing Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Okay.
I think your odds are like 4-1 that that
Yeah,
fly
right.
goes out the door.
Yeah.
Flies
Or
are so dumb.
Yeah. But what do you think the chances are that fly has a little fly mate waiting outside being like, watch this.
Yeah.
Watch this.
I'll get
get him
sneak in
to open
first.
the
I'll
door.
say yes. Then you come in. We'll poop all over the place.
Obviously, you don't get in the same way as me.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Because then that ruins the fun of what we're doing.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to pretend to escape by bashing against the window a few times.
Yeah. What I do is I'll generally hover around the door so he thinks that I'm trying to get in.
Yeah. And then when he goes to brush his hand from one side to coax me into the door, I'll kind of fly up and around his hand and further into the room.
And I'm doing that purely to confuse him. There's no, I don't even know why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It makes no sense, but you should see his face.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of flies outside watching, laughing. Like, this guy's an idiot. Okay, I have one more. One last one, yeah.
Sure.
It's by Kylie Jahimiak. At some point, an earthquake has caused someone to lose a game of Jenga. I think this person, I could be wrong. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying this hasn't happened, right? Mm-hmm. But I think this person perhaps thinks that earthquakes or Jenga happens far more frequently than you think. Yeah. That's not one thing. It's not like, oh, I bet someone has like coughed and sneezed at the same time. You know, seems far more plausible that those two things have happened, or like, you know, random chance with a few things have happened. Like, oh, I bet there's been a car crash at 3 different intersections in a row. Mm-hmm. Far more likely to me. But I think somebody losing a game of Jenga during an earthquake is not that 100% certain that those two things have happened.
You know what I think has happened? I think this person is going for the philosophy that the infinite chimps with infinite typewriters will eventually write Shakespeare out of probability. But what they should have said is, at some point, someone will lose a game of Jenga because of an earthquake. Because in the infinite timelines, yes, that will happen.
Yeah. Or the universe. You should expand it. There's probably a planet out there where the people are Jenga.
Yeah.
Right? That
earthquakes are devastating.
Their lives. Far worse.
Can I state my opinion, and then perhaps we'll move on to the next subject?
Okay, yeah.
I think anyone that plays Jenga, in a way, loses.
Oh, yes. Do you know that? I agree. I don't think it's that an entertaining a game. No. Really. But the one time it was quite good is when I went to Genting and I was watching a Dota 2 tournament. Mm-hmm. We went to the bar afterwards and they had a huge Jenga set.
Yep.
And like all the pro players and stuff, they were just there and they kind of did a Jenga tournament. That was actually quite entertaining to watch because it was like a big spectacle, everybody watching around. That's like a giant Jenga.
Then that earthquake came through.
Couldn't believe it. All right, let's get into podnapping.
Oh my God, I'm being podnapped!
Podnapping.
This is Podnapping, where we nap a pod. We take a topic of conversation or a segment from podcasts we've listened to throughout the week, and we do it better.
Well, yeah, that's not true. So it's my turn this week.
Yep.
And I have podnapped the Cracked podcast. Yeah, Cracked is a pretty average website that does listicles and stuff like that. But their podcast occasionally has an interesting topic, and I like to listen to it whenever it does.
Yep.
And I was listening to one just the other day, and it was all about people that should have a biopic, like a movie made about them, that have lived this weirdly interesting life.
Like that Forrest Gump guy.
Like that Forrest Gump guy.
Yeah.
But if he were real.
No, I think he was real.
Yeah, because he met JFK.
Yeah. That's
He drank
right.
all those Dr. Peppers and then he met JFK.
Yeah.
I think the episode was technically called 7 Crazy Real Life People that should have a...
Okay.
But I mean, my point is, if you're having a movie made about you, you probably had a crazy life in some way.
Yes.
You wouldn't make a movie about a guy that was just an accountant for most of his life, got married, had a happy life, and then died.
Yeah, you make a movie about an accountant who is also a hitman.
Yeah, and he's cast Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's your one?
So I have... Do you know Bill the Bastard?
I know Bill, and he is a bastard.
Okay.
He does escape
Escape
this
this
podcast.
Yes. No, so Bill the Bastard, and this one is very Australia leaning, especially Australian military.
Okay.
So for our international listeners, I will try and explain if something I don't think is commonly known outside of Australia.
Okay.
So Bill the Bastard is an Australian military figure.
Yep.
Specifically through World War One, and coincidentally, Bill the Bastard, or Bill, he just ran into a lot of almost like Forrest Gump actually.
Okay.
Ran into a lot of very historical people or events all throughout the war.
Right. Okay.
So he started out recruiting for the war. He was part of the recruitment effort for the war.
Yep.
And then in 1914 he was sent to the Middle East to go to the war, and he ended up becoming a companion of Banjo Paterson. Who is a very famous Australian poet and writer.
Yep.
And for years and years, he travelled around with Banjo Paterson just before the war, in which point he was then posted to the Battle of Gallipoli, which is a very famous battle in which Australia fought, and very bloody, but it's very well known in Australian military history.
Yeah.
He also crossed paths with a guy called John Simpson, who was known as Simpson and his donkey. In the war, who's again a very iconic Australian war hero. Yeah, him and his donkey used to go out there. He crossed paths with them, and even when Simpson died in battle, he carried his body out of Battle of Gallipoli.
That's really interesting, because that's what Simpson did, right? He went into no man's land and he'd pick up the dead bodies.
Yeah, and he'd bring them back.
Put them on his donkey and
bring them back.
Extremely dangerous because of people firing literally like past years.
Yes, yeah. So during the war, he was also shot twice, and one of the bullets was never removed from his body. But most famously, this is what Bill the Bastard is most famous for. In the Battle of Romania in 1916, he saved the lives of 5 other men by carrying them out of the battle for 3 kilometers. He carried them all out of the battle. And after the war...
how many men? 5 men?
5. And after the war, he never returned home and lived out the rest of his life near Gallipoli.
Right.
And there's now a bronze statue commemorating him in Murrumburra in New South Wales. So he is a Australian war hero that just incidentally came across all these famous Australian figures and fought in all these famous Australian battles. But here's the thing about Bill the Bastard.
Yep.
He is a horse.
Oh, right.
He is a horse.
Are you gonna have this twist at the end of the movie? Like it's actually played by Leonardo DiCaprio for most of it. And then right at the end, it just kind of does this wavy, shimmery thing. And you realize that Leonardo DiCaprio was a horse the whole time.
No, so it's this bizarre story of this horse. And this horse was
I was going to say,
famous.
carrying 5 guys out, I was like, that's insane.
But this horse ran in, I mean, there's someone on here, but went into the battle, was shot during this battle, and they stacked 5 people on top of it because it was a huge horse.
Yeah.
Huge horse. Stacked all these people
they used to...
on the sides of him, over the back of him, and he carried them all out of the battle.
Yeah.
And he saved, apparently, there's no exact figure, but like heaps and heaps of lives throughout the battle.
Yeah.
Because he was such an enormous horse. And he seemed so resilient. He seemingly couldn't die. He lived all through the war.
Yeah.
That he would just be ridden into battle. They'd load them up with people and they'd
Yeah.
ride them back out again.
Yeah. The horses they used to use in the military were just like tanks of horses in general. They weren't like the ones that you see
Well,
today.
so
But
I was going to say Bill the Bastard was well known for being unrideable, except for one person could ever ride him.
Michael
And
Jackson.
When his name was Michael,
Weird.
actually. When I said he helped with army recruitment, what that meant is they would have him at the army recruitment office. And if people wanted to join the light horsemen, who were the people that rode horses into battle, they needed to get onto Bill the Bastard and see how long they could stay on him. And judging by that, they would say whether or not you were fit to ride there, because he was so mean and stubborn and like, I guess, kind of violent to people that tried to ride him that no one could stay on except for this one guy.
Well, that makes sense to his name. I was like, he's done all these great things. People calling him a bastard. Unlike Bill the Bastard from Escape This Podcast. He's done a lot of...
He'll never get a movie.
He does a lot of best. I think the problem you'll have with marketing this is that Warhorse exists as a movie.
And wasn't great.
And wasn't great. I think I thought it was okay.
It was fine.
Saw
it was fine. But this is Warhorse...
That moment where the kid is blind and is the kid blind?
I don't remember.
And he sees the horse, and then they wash his feet, and they're like, "It is the same horse."
My point
brought a tear to my eye.
Here's the elevator pitch. This is Warhorse meets Forrest Gump.
Actually, that's pretty good.
It's pretty good, right?
It's pretty good. No, I just don't think I could watch a movie like Warhorse was okay, you know.
But what if it was Forrest Gump?
I could. Yeah, yeah. You've brought me back again. Yeah. Can he have a catchphrase like "Life is like a box of chocolates"? Like like a bale of hay.
No, what he
all
does.
The same.
This is his catchphrase because he talks. I didn't tell you that.
Peanut butter around the mouth. Obviously.
Every time he does something, he looks at the camera and goes, "What a bastard I am!" and he winks.
Okay.
And the audience claps.
Yeah. So, just checking, there is an audience also in this film. It's people watching. Bill the Bastard. And
it's a meta commentary.
Really meta. Okay, yeah. This is getting more interesting by the second.
Won't make any money.
I like it. But again, Bill the Bastard is Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. Big twist. Yeah, he's a horse.
Is it? And so you have that scene where the light infantrymen have to ride him, and he just piggybacks them, but just kind of runs around a bit insane for a bit.
Leonardo DiCaprio, famous Australian soldier Leonardo DiCaprio, was eating so much hay? That was very confusing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, there's my pitch for a movie. Bill the Bastard. It's Warhorse meets Forrest Gump.
That's good. It's good.
What do you got?
The only one that I could think of was there was another one that came up on Reddit and a little while ago, and I was like, man, would be a really good one. But you told me this after that, and I had totally forgotten. Didn't save the thing, but it was like really interesting person. So I was like, who's the one that I can remember that? And I said, is it okay if a book had been written about them? You said that's fine.
Yeah. Bill the Bastard has a book by Roland Perry.
Right. Okay. I checked to see if there was a movie. I think there's maybe been a short film, but I don't think a film.
Yep.
And the guy's name is Thomas McFadden. And he is the
you're talking about marching powder.
In Bolivia, who was a UK citizen. Yeah. Got caught trafficking drugs and lived in this Bolivian jail. Yes. And actually, it was an Australian
Rusty Young
guy. Yeah, Rusty, who went on a prison tour that Thomas McFadden was doing, and just sort of found his life amazing. Yeah. And I didn't write anything down. Maybe I should have. And my memory is like vague on what happened. But just the. I mean, it's interesting how he got caught and stuff, and like his first kind of like this guy was like a serious. Drug trafficker. Like he had done it before. Like I remember the techniques that he used to pack the bags and when he used to get to the airport, and he got betrayed by somebody at the airport as well, who was meant to be.
He was like bribing an official, and then they betrayed him.
Yeah. And so but it sort of just ends up being about this prison, really.
I mean, the fascinating thing about this prison is called San Pez.
That's right.
You don't get given a cell. you have to buy a cell.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you get nothing. And they have realtors set up in the prison that sell like real estate, prison cells. And people that were well off could buy more than one cell.
Yeah.
So people would buy a second cell, and in that cell, they would start like a small shop, or they would start a restaurant, or they would rent it out as like a hotel.
Yeah.
And it became like a mini economy inside of the city of, you said Bolivia, I think?
Bolivia,
Yeah.
I think, that's right. And, and they had, like, the super rich crime bosses would have their families live with them in their cells, which were, like, more like houses, I think, basically at some point. And,
it's true. And the way that Rusty Young, who wrote the book, met Thomas McFadden is because what Thomas McFadden used to do for extra money is he would bribe the guards to get people to come in off the street, and then he'd give them a tour of the prison.
Yeah.
And just as like as a tour guide, he'd walk around and be like, isn't this prison fucking weird?
Yeah.
And Rusty Young met him on a tour, and then they wrote the book in secret in the prison because they just bribed the guards to let them in. It was so corrupt.
Yeah, and I remember they could also have, you could buy a day pass.
Yeah, to go out.
Leave, go to a restaurant. I think you kind of, you paid like the guard that was going to take you out, but also obviously some other guard higher up the chain as well that would allow it. And the sort of big thing I think as well was that they used to make drugs in there, like cocaine. Like it was a huge factory
of cocaine.
Of cocaine that was like the main source of income. It was it's just totally corrupt, totally insane. And I think that'd make a really interesting movie.
They actually tried to make a movie of this back in the early 2000s. They'd cast as Thomas McFadden Don
Leonardo
Cheadle.
DiCaprio. Oh,
they cast Don Cheadle.
A horse. No, okay. Sorry. I just like the idea of Leonardo DiCaprio playing a character, and then the plot twist is he's a horse the whole time. I think that would be brilliant.
So they'd cast Don Cheadle. He's probably too old now. But I think if you're going to make this a movie now, here's where my mind goes. Thomas McFadden, I would cast Daniel Kaluuya, who's the guy from Get Out.
Yeah.
Because he is actually British. I know he's American in the movie, but he's British. And as Rusty Young, you need like a young Australian guy that's a writer. I would cast you.
Yes!
And it was 60-40 split on your pay.
Yeah. Wait,
don't worry, I'll work it out. No, I would cast Liam Hemsworth.
That's true.
I actually think because he's not so hugely Thor buff that you're like, you're not a real person that lives in the world. But he is like it because Rusty Young was just a pretty young, attractive Australian backpacker, and Liam Hemsworth I think would be pretty good.
Yeah, that's true. It'd be good.
Yeah.
All right.
And you know who directed? Me, Nelson, because I know all of the things.
Okay. All right.
That's a good one. Yeah, the book is called Marching
Powder. Yeah. All right.
Good pick.
Good podnapping segment.
Thank you very much.
Cambo.
Compliment City. Points all around.
We're getting very even on the points.
Yeah. Also, people let us know which of those movies you'd prefer to see.
Oh.
The one that's a gritty crime drama based on, real life events in a South American prison, or Forrest Gump meets Warhorse.
Meets Warhorse.
Twist. Leonardo DiCaprio's a horse at the end.
That's why I want to see that one. For no other reason. It could be any movie. I don't care what it is. Because I want the twist to be. I want people going out of that movie going, did that? Was the twist that Leonardo DiCaprio was the horse the whole time?
Because here's the thing. At the premiere, when it plays, at the end, we'll have our chairs facing the audience. Yeah. Because we want to see their reaction.
Yeah. We might risk getting popcorn thrown at us.
Art is a risk, Nelson.
Do you know what I also like the idea of? Like, in the Sixth Sense, when you watch it back, you realize that only... he hasn't been talking to anybody.
Yeah. So it's so obvious through the whole thing that he must have been dead.
So I like the idea that you watch this one back, and again you realize he's not talking to anyone. anyone.
Like, that was so obvious. He was a horse dog. He sleeps in that stable. Oh my god.
Yeah, but you just think it's like people are shunning him because nobody would talk to him.
He's a bastard.
He's a bastard.
Again, not the other Bill,
Not the other
who is
Bill.
a bastard.
Ugh.
And we won't tell you why,
Yeah.
but he knows.
He knows. We know.
And if maybe the authorities ought to know.
Yeah. Anyway, here's the AMA where the Ask Me Anything, where listeners of the show can ask us anything they want. We have one bit of correspondence here first, which is from Stacey, your girlfriend.
Yeah. The ongoing candle debacle.
Yeah. The subject of this email, I think, was candles. So she says, I'll have you know that the last time the 21 candle was used was last July. It was used in conjunction with an old 50th candle, plus 9 additional single candles to represent my nan's 80th birthday.
Jesus Christ.
That does not permit. That is worse. That is far worse.
This makes
Do you think that your nan wanted you to go to the trouble of putting an accurate amount of numbered candles on there? I think that the fact that you had to go to such length with a 21st and a 50th candle and then the extra one, that's insulting.
Yeah. So here's the hill that we want to die on. Invest, if you're going to get candles, invest in numbers 0 to 9.
Easy.
Individual candles.
Easy.
You'll never have a combination unless they turn 100, at which point they don't get candles.
Yeah.
Because you've only got the 1 0.
Yeah.
You know what? Get a second 0.
Just in case.
Splurge. Because then you're safe again forever until they reach 1,000.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
no,
111.
111. So I did the quick math in my head.
Okay. Also, this is what I think.
Yep.
I'm going to take a new stance.
Okay.
No candles.
Okay.
You don't need a candle.
Yeah, just tell them how old they are.
them.
One candle in the middle, because blowing candles
I
out
thought
can be
about
fun.
I thought about that. I was
Okay.
going to say one candle, just
Yeah.
make it easy.
Yeah.
The novelty's there. But really, candles are a dumb idea anyway.
Because you just spit on a cake.
You spit on a cake. If you leave it too long, there's wax on the cake. Get rid of candles.
Yeah, okay. So someone just declares how old they are,
Yeah.
and then you cut a cake in silence.
Do you know what the worst thing happened the other day was? It was my nephew's birthday. He turned 3. And we went to like one of those indoor playground places.
Yep.
And they put a sparkler on the cake
Oh, yeah.
with no candles. Do you know how confusing that is to a 3-year-old? He's like,
I'm confused by it.
He's like trying to blow out the sparkler as it's burning around, and I think it was like burning the number 3 or something like that. And so we ended up just like waited until the sparkler went out while he's just going, and then we got to the end. You're like, hey, you did it.
That is that's insane.
Yeah.
We do have another correspondence here, the first of the AMAs. It's from Cousin Rowan. It says, gentlemen, glad to hear that Nelson's main concern about taking a limitless drug is it is basically too fucking lazy to actually do anything with the newfound mental capacity. Fuck me.
I think that was my point. I think if you read between the lines, I was saying that I'm too smart already.
Yeah.
So it would probably make me dumb.
All right.
To take the drug.
Yeah, you're at 110%
I'm at
capacity.
110% already.
And that would just lower you down.
Yeah.
So, because you corrected me, I said 1,000. You're like, I think you'll find it's 111. I'm like, oh, because of the limitless.
The limitless thing.
Since I've dropped a couple of F-bombs, I like that he says F-bombs here as not to swear.
Yeah, but earlier.
And coming up, it's a spoiler alert. Since I've dropped a couple of fuck bombs, it may be worth mentioning my favorite Australian saying is, we're not here to fuck spiders. Not widely used anymore, but it makes you wonder how it came about. And I like for our international listeners, let's not explain what that means. But it is a saying.
Yeah. I mean, I think you can get the context from that.
I want to know if people can. That's what I'm interested in. Does that make any sense as to what that might mean?
But, yeah, okay.
Anyway, with the recent passing of Mother's Day, it may also beg the question of what gift to buy. AMA 84.0. What is your go-to gift that works for anyone but still gets you some. Then my email cuts off.
Do it again.
It did cut
Just
off.
do it. Okay.
Credibility?
What is your go-to gift that works for anyone but still gets you some credibility?
Okay.
E.g., not just a lame gift voucher.
Okay, cool.
Uh,
I think, because I do have one, but I think I've mentioned it on this show before, and that's a bit of a cop-out answer.
oh, what is it?
Whenever I don't have a gift for someone, I just get them deemed a lord. I get them deemed a lord of
yeah,
Scotland.
that's right.
And it's got me out of many jams.
Okay.
And people love it.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like being made a lord of Scotland? Literally no one. Except someone that's already a lord of Scotland, obviously. They'd be like, yeah, I know.
I think if... They're like, thanks for nothing.
Yeah.
I know this basically means nothing at all.
And let me tell you, it's actually worse than a gift voucher because there's no monetary value for them.
it's far worse.
It's because gift voucher. It's just like a sheet of paper or a card with some money on it. This is
Yeah.
just the sheet of paper.
Yeah, if you got that for me, I'd prefer you get me nothing than that, honestly.
Oh, your birthday this year, let me tell you.
Ooh. Yeah, that's true. There's good ones like I actually don't mind it's not really a go-to gift. Like the overall gift I think is like a concert ticket.
Yeah.
Quite often for my parents, we get them like musical tickets. Mm-hmm. I reckon that can apply to a lot of people. I reckon.
What would you buy me?
What's out at the moment? Aladdin. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it needs to, like for example, Book of Mormon.
Okay.
I know you'd like, but you've already seen. So
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
but
what
we're
I'm
talking hypotheticals here, okay?
Hypothetically, it's my birthday coming up.
Hypothetically.
What would you buy me? What concert?
Well, I don't know what's out at the moment. I'd have to research.
Okay. But you think you'd be able to find something?
Yeah, because I think that's kind of entertaining. I think most people, like, I think you would still enjoy going to musical, even if
Yeah.
it's something that you didn't, like, necessarily think of, like The Lion King or something. Like, sometimes those things are just entertaining without you needing to have, like, a preference for stage shows. You know? I reckon they kind of covers a bit of basis.
It's not bad, and it's a bit of a day out.
Yeah, it's
Would
kind of a
you
day
get
out
me
and
tickets to Harry Potter and the Cursed Child?
Oh, actually, yeah. I was talking to somebody else today who's going to see that.
Would
And
you-
yeah, so
would you-
like maybe I could get that. I know you're not even a very big
No,
Harry Potter fan,
that's what I'm saying.
but I still
'Cause
think that might be entertaining.
Yeah, I guess I'd go for free. But
Yeah.
6 hours of Harry
It's not
Potter.
something that you would ever buy yourself.
No,
I
6
don't-
6 hours of Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, it's like 2 sittings, isn't it? Or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, I think it's 2 parts.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's insane. Okay, I take that back.
Because I think like you'd hand it to me and I'd be like, thank you.
Yeah.
I know you've spent a lot on this.
How about my?
But maybe I'd enjoy it. That's the thing. Maybe I'm just being bigoted.
Well, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe Harry Potter. That's a bit more niche even. But like we got tickets for my parents to Barnum, which was the Greatest Showman in the World. Same storyline, but they did a musical here.
Yeah. More elephant torture.
And yes, lots of elephant torture. And I know how much you love torturing animals. But yeah, so I thought, I think you might enjoy that one.
Okay.
It's just like entertaining show. But also,
Yeah.
I think like flowers.
Right.
I think flowers. Get anybody flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Even, even men.
Okay. So you'd buy your
And
dad
if
some
you
flowers
disagree,
for
you're
Father's Day?
sexist. No, obviously not. Okay, only for females, pretty much. I mean, I know that.
I think a bro can buy a bro some flowers. Let's.
I think they can.
Let's
And
break
in
down
fact,
that wall.
I am certain that if somebody bought me flowers, I'd be appreciative of that.
Yeah.
But there's no way that any guy that I know would get them for me, or I would get them for any guy I know.
Well,
it
okay.
just wouldn't happen.
Let's start it on this show. A bro can buy a bro some flowers.
Yeah.
And you know
I
what?
agree. I'm still not guessing. I'm just saying it's never going to happen.
No, but I'm saying we should try and be the change we want to see.
So okay.
I mean, I don't want to do it, but
It's exactly my point.
No. But that's just because I just flowers to me seem like a waste of money. But
But yeah, there's tons of things that are a waste of money.
yeah.
Like
But like I will get
define waste of money.
But I will get them for someone who I know enjoys them still. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
So, like, if I know someone enjoys flowers, I'll still buy them flowers. But in my mind, I'm like, well, this is $40 down the drain.
That's really dumb. One time, Kembo.
Yeah. I get that you're limitless and everything.
Yeah, I'm limitless.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Maybe this example doesn't work quite the same, but just on the idea of wasting money, I remember one time I had a. This was quite a while ago, so it's weird that I remember this, but I had a broken button on my jeans.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, I'm gonna just get this repaired," and he said, "Why don't you just buy new jeans?"
Yeah.
And I thought, what a waste of money. I have perfectly good jeans that have a button missing. And you're like, oh, button missing.
Yeah.
Get rid of them.
Buy new jeans.
Buy new jeans entirely.
If the button was even loose, new jeans. Yeah.
Okay. We have different definitions of a waste of money.
Yeah. Mine is flowers.
Yeah. Okay, we have another one here. This is by Abigail. She said, "Gentlemen, how are things?
Good.
I hope you're doing well.
Thanks.
You guys always make my week." Thanks. So because my mum is in the military, you spelt mum wrong. You spelled it with an O and not a U.
Nelson, don't alienate 70% of our listening audience.
Oh boy. So because my mum is in the military, we moved all around America. My favorite state was Tennessee. If you could live in any American state, what would it be? Your favorite, Abigail.
Ooh. You are.
Are we?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you know what?
Wait,
Probably.
is she saying, like, where, like, she's our favorite, or is she our favorite Abigail?
Okay.
Because
I don't know another Abigail,
Well,
so you are in fact my favorite Abigail.
there's not a comma, is what I'm saying. So it does say your favorite Abigail.
Yeah, okay.
And Abigail, you are our favorite Abigail.
Yeah.
And
You're also the worst Abigail.
Ooh.
I don't know another Abigail,
That's how-
so this is
that's
kind
how
of
defaults work.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just the way it works. No, you're our favorite.
Yeah.
Abigail,
But
you're
obviously
our
also
favorite
but again, by default, you are the worst.
We're going to lose just all our listeners. Because we find loopholes in what they tell us. I think we gave her a cap about how she spelled gentleman last time and not addressing as gentleman. Look, you've done everything right. Abigail, you're our favorite.
Yeah.
Abigail.
Please don't stop writing it.
Yeah.
Despite everything we've done. If we could live in any American state, what would it be? It's a good question, and the trouble I have with it is there are a lot of American states I've visited that I've really enjoyed, but it's all about spending more than like 2 weeks there.
Yeah,
You
that's
know
right.
what I mean?
Well, that's like New York. They say it's a very good place to visit, but not live.
Who says that?
It's like a thing. It's like
Is it?
Yeah. It's like New York is there's a saying that says like live in New York. Or live in somewhere before it makes you too soft. Live in New York before it makes you too hard, or something like that. And yeah, I swear I've heard this before. This concept of like New York is an amazing place to be for a while, but don't like live there.
Right. But I think the appeal of New York is that you go and live there for a little while and have that experience.
Hazim's from New York. Hey,
Yeah.
Hazim, how long have you been there?
And what do you think of Nelson
And are you
insulting your home state?
No, I swear that
city.
it's like there's this concept of like.
But
But do you know what? It's definitely not from New Yorkers.
yeah, for sure, obviously, because they live there, Nelson.
Yeah. But if a majority of people say that, then obviously,
Okay.
I don't know.
So, like, for instance, I was going to say, when I was in America and I went to San Diego, I was actually very pleasantly surprised by San Diego. I'm like, this is quite a nice little city.
Yeah.
It's down by the beach. It's nice and modern.
Yeah.
But maybe after like a couple of weeks, I'd be like, oh man, this is boring as shit. You know?
Okay. Yeah.
So like you don't know until you're kind of there for a little while. Because I felt the same about Austin, Texas. I quite liked Austin.
Yeah.
But if you're there for like, and I know that Austin is maybe, Texas in general is maybe a little more conservative than my viewpoints generally.
Yeah.
Maybe I would start to, sour on it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say New York because it's the best place to live. That's the saying I've heard.
Yeah. Did Hazim tell you that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always trying to.
We correspond.
He's always trying to sell that place.
America's got New York. We've got Bayswater.
Yeah. Yeah, this is tricky because when I've been to America, I've been to Las Vegas.
I can never live there.
Do you know?
I can barely stay there for more than like 3 days.
I think I could live there for longer than most people. I reckon.
Yeah.
It was really funny because I went there for quite maybe 10 days or something, a bit over a week with some friends. And I remember at about 7 days, you're like, oh boy, been in Las Vegas for a while. And then at 10 days, I was like, actually, I think I could live here longer.
You got over the hump.
Yeah, I got over the hump, and I was like, actually, like, there's a lot of shows that you can see. There's a lot of just like constant entertainment. It changes all the time,
And you
much
love
like New York, I guess.
And you love shows.
I do
buy
love
people shows all the time.
I do love shows. Hey, you went to... Oh, this is a good example. You went to the Cirque du Soleil, and you said to your girlfriend, and admitted in this podcast, when they were doing the flips and stuff, you're like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Yeah. So that, technically, I'm just going to say, is a stage show. Yeah. Fits into my category.
See, if you're going the Las Vegas, New York route, I would say that New York, like the food offerings and stuff like that in New York are far more vast than Las Vegas.
I'm going to put it out there. Yeah. I don't like American food. Just putting it out there. I'm sorry to offend 70% or more of our listeners. But I just don't think there's... whenever I've gone... So I've been to New York, I've been to LA, and I've been to Las Vegas. Yeah. And every time I've never felt like I've eaten any food that I'm like, oh my God, this is really good.
I would say though.
Actually, no, I had corn on the cob, which was brilliant in like a festival thing. But I feel like that's not a very good... Yeah. I'm not going to go back to New York for corn on the cob.
I would say in defense of that, I would say that is true of food in general when you're traveling. And American food does lean more to that, especially when you're traveling. That it's harder to get good food.
Wait, what? Traveling is almost always about the food. I reckon that's like a main reason why people travel. But what I'm saying, go eat different cuisine.
I'm saying if you lived somewhere, you would start, because you tend to like, you go out and you grab a burger or whatever. But if you live there, I think you would start finding better places.
What? No, you.
What are you insane?
I know. Like wait. You actually planned places that you were going to eat in America when you traveled there, and you did a travel blog, a food blog. Yeah. It's literally what people travel for. It's like one of the main things. It's like, I'm going to try the unique, amazing food of this country. So I'm just saying that when I went over there, I didn't find anything that I felt like that was so amazing that I would go back there for.
But what I'm saying is that you're putting American food into the brackets of like pizzas and burgers and stuff like that are what America's known for. But I'm saying if you're there long enough, you're going to start trying other things that aren't as quintessentially like the quote unquote American food.
So I will find generally international food in America.
But what I'm saying is New York, which was my point, is a very international place. Yeah. And you would get a more diverse range of foods there. Yeah,
that's right. I didn't go to like an Indian place in New York City because I was like, I'm in New York City.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You would have better food options and stuff like that in New York than you would in Las Vegas.
Okay.
That was my point.
It's a very fucking
idiot.
It's a very roundidiot way.
You made it roundabout because I was trying to make my point, and you kept interrupting me and being like, "You're an idiot. You had all the food on your holiday. You made a video about it." When I was trying to make my point,
you're saying I would appreciate the international food when I go to an American state. That's insane.
If you lived there. Yes. Okay. If you lived there.
Anyway, I think maybe
this is the last episode of
I'm tempted to go to like Seattle, but mainly because the game I play, Dota 2, they quite often have the World Championship at an arena there.
Okay.
And that's like, I'd just like to be close to that. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Also, I quite like Nashville.
Yeah.
Apropos of nothing, I just thought it was a cool city.
Yeah. Okay. Where's Nashville?
It's down in the south. Is it Tennessee? It might be no. I don't know. I'm not confident.
I don't know either.
We just stopped there for a while, and it was kind of a cool city.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
Went to some bar that had country music. We all had a bit of a honky tonk dance. It was fun.
Yeah, okay. Alrighty. That's it for Ask Me Anything. Thank you for writing in, Abigail and Rowan and Stacey. If you would like to write into us, you can do so. Reddit podcast, READIT podcast at gmail.com, at Facebook and at Twitter. They're all READIT podcast. And you can, if you could rate us and subscribe on whatever podcasting app you're listening to, and tell a friend.
Ooh, yeah, that's the most important one.
That's the tell a friend or an enemy. We've decided I think is also acceptable.
If someone that you just you're mutually you don't feel one way or the other, still tell them. Obviously,
yeah.
There's not a person you shouldn't tell.
Walk down your street, tell 10 people.
If you're a town crier and you walk down the street and ringing a bell, hear ye,
yeah,
just chuck in a hear ye, subscribe to Reddit on Reddit.
A lot of town criers in the world these days.
Yep.
I mean, there should be. More trustworthy news, I feel. The garbage you read on the internet.
Or the fake news.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Thanks for listening, and we will read you later.